On today's news, plans for Daniel Bryan's original AEW debut have been changed, backstage news on Bianca Belair, a review of SmackDown, and the review of Rampage. I still refuse to dance to get you to subscribe. I will use the power of my words instead. Subscribe. Do it, or you'll regret it.
Support WrestleTalk!
With CM Punk's AEW debut now officially in the rearview mirror, attention has turned to the speculated and reported and oh god it's actually happening, isn't it, arrival of the American Dragon Daniel Bryan Danielson. Do we call him Daniel? Bryan? Or Danielson? Bryanson? Maybe if we just call him Bryan, we can just be right both ways. Interest picked up on Wednesday when CM Punk teased Bryan's impending AEW debut on Dynamite. Now, Bodyslam.net has reported some new information about when we might see him for the first time. The original report had indicated that AEW's Arthur Ashe Stadium show would be the site of Bryan's debut. However, it appears that it might be coming sooner than initially thought. The new report states that Bryan will be debuting at next week's All Out as a way to capitalize on the buzz stemming from CM Punk's debut. Andrew Zarian also tweeted yesterday that AEW All Out will be an awesome show with a few surprises. There are a number of big names who have been rumored to be appearing for AEW in the near future, such as Adam Cole, Ruby Soho, and Bray Wyatt, though the latter is still under his non-compete clause. But Daniel Bryan could easily be one of those surprises. And if he is, you can bet your ass I'll be crying seeing it live. Wait. Tempest wrote this, not me, the dickhead. I will not be seeing All Out live. Tempest will. Thanks, Tempest. While many had been excited about the potential return of Becky Lynch, the return itself had a lot of fans frustrated by the treatment of Bianca Belair. Lynch made her surprise return at SummerSlam, filling in for the absent Sasha Banks, and beat Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship in just 25 seconds. Needless to say, people didn't like that. But how did people backstage at WWE react? Well, Fightful Select reported that Belair was in good spirits backstage despite the fan backlash to the match. The report states, WWE officials applauded Belair's attitude and noted that she quickly got ready to attend WWE's red carpet after party and participated in media after her loss with a smile on her face. The report also covered the reactions of the general backstage crew, with the reactions being much more varied than Belair's herself. Sapp said, "The reactions we gained from talent and staff we spoke to were somehow mixed with genuine shock to not being surprised. Bianca Belair is widely known as a professional who makes the best out of every situation she's put in creatively. Another source we spoke to said they believe there is an actual plan in motion for this story. Belair did become the #1 contender to Becky Lynch on SmackDown, so it appears there is a plan of some sort in place as of this moment. Hopefully they can see that through." If you didn't catch it yesterday either, the new NXT logo has been revealed as part of the rebrand of the show, and it's different, isn't it? I don't think I hate it, at least. Colors are nice, but rest in peace Triple H's dark, grungy, heavy metal, brooding NXT. And now it's time for my review of last night's post-SummerSlam SmackDown in about 5 minutes. The show began with Becky Lynch, who cut a pretty good promo, saying that if you thought she was dangerous before when she was just fighting for herself, you have no idea how dangerous she's about to be. She then apologizes for absolutely nothing at SummerSlam, which brings out Bianca Belair, who wants a rematch. They get interrupted by Zelina Vega, Carmella, and Liv Morgan, with Morgan pointing out that neither of the other two actually deserve a title shot considering they literally never win.
She's right, you know.
Bianca then says the other three have lost their minds, so what do you say, Becky? Let's do a rematch. And Becky simply says, nah, and then walks out. That's a really nice dynamic, honestly, with Bianca accepting Becky's challenge at SummerSlam and Becky refusing hers now. It's some good heel work, and I'm more on board with this heel turn than I was before. The other four start fighting, and after an ad break, it's turned into a #1 contenders fatal 4-way elimination match, and after Carmella and Zelina Vega are obviously best friends because they helped out Sasha Banks that one time, Carmella then tries to roll up Zelina, which makes absolutely no sense because it's an elimination match. Work together to eliminate everyone else, you idiots. Bianca KO'd Zelina and eliminated her, while Liv Morgan hit her finish, I forget the name, and eliminated Carmella. Morgan and Belair put on a really good final two portion of this match, and I got quite into it by the end. Belair won clean, but Morgan looked great in defeat. This was honestly a pretty good opening segment, all things considered, and I was pleasantly surprised. Paul Heyman backstage sneers at Kayla Braxton for asking where he stands between Reigns and Lesnar because it's obviously the tribal chief Roman Reigns, before attempting to enter Roman Reigns' locker room but it's locked. The Usos come out and insinuate that Heyman knew Lesnar would be there at SummerSlam, which is why he sent them to the back before Reigns' match, and they vaguely threaten him while still maintaining a relatively positive tone. They go back into the locker room and Heyman waits outside, and I'm already really into this story. This felt like the whole dynamic between the four of them is back on track after it went a bit cold for a couple of months. Chad Gable then faced Cesaro. Yes, please, more of that. But Otis caused the DQ as Cesaro went for the swing. I swear they've done the same Otis story for months now. Gable has a match with someone, Otis causes a DQ in that match, then the person faces Otis in a match, and then that person loses. Gable looks incompetent and Otis looks strong. Rinse and repeat with absolutely zero progression. Kayla Braxton is waiting for Roman to arrive as a car pulls up, but it's not Reigns. It's Baron Corbin, who won it big in Vegas and has his money and his life back on track. He tells her to call him Happy Corbin, so we finally arrived at the reported end goal of this story to turn him into Happy Corbin. I heard that name originally, and I rolled my eyes, but once again, I was pleasantly surprised. Happy Corbin came out to the ring with his new theme music of slot machines, dressed to the nines, champagne in the ring, and he was a proper obnoxious dickhead the entire time. You know, I really didn't hate this at all, and if the last few months weren't evidence enough, I will give Corbin massive props for fully committing to every single character he's given. He really tries his best to make everything work, and I really think this did. Corbin brought out Big E and tried to buy the Money in the Bank briefcase off him, but E refused, before eventually telling him to get out of the ring or he'll slap the smile off his face. So Corbin left the ring, still smiling, still profiling, still just being a happy lad. I genuinely really liked this. I thought Corbin did a fantastic job. We then got back-to-back promos from Edge and Rollins, where Edge said he had to go to a place where he was the most savage version of himself and says he's moving on to the Universal Championship, while Rollins says he learned a lesson at SummerSlam and that he needs to make himself more like Edge in order to fight his way back to the Universal Championship. I swear, if Rollins comes out and starts calling himself the rated R Rollins superstar, Roman Reigns finally arrived backstage and found Heyman standing outside his locker room looking completely out of place and almost cowering in fear, but Reigns lets him into the locker room. Heyman is absolutely terrified of Roman turning on him, and I love that this is the direction they've gone in. We then got a tag match of Nakamura and Boogs versus Ziggler and Rude, which Boogs won with a pump handle slam. I like that move. The match was fine. Naomi appeared backstage. Whoa! More women on SmackDown? Saying she was excited to be the newest member of the SmackDown roster, but Sonya Deville completely no-sold it, saying she doesn't know if she measures up and she'll get back to her next week about her first match back. Yay for more women, and yay for Naomi. Rey Mysterio then tells Dominic that he needs to fly by himself. He's booked an opponent for him tonight, a surprise opponent, and Dominic needs to learn by himself, so Rey won't help him. By yourself, Dom, remember that, no help from Rey. So the surprise opponent turned out to be Sami Zayn, which was an odd decision to announce as a surprise opponent, but sure, let's go with it. And after Dom got into some trouble, out came Rey to ringside. Good job you're letting him fly solo, Rey, and not offering any help from ringside like literally every other week you do that. Sami Zayn eventually won clean with an exploder suplex into a haluva kick. When's the last time Sami actually did that? And after the match, Dom gets annoyed and starts rejecting Rey's help and getting to his feet and starts walking off to the back. The Bloodline are about to make their entrance for the main event segment, a family celebration, and Heyman offers the Universal title to Reigns, who insists Heyman comes out with them because he is family. He loves him. Heyman is so scared, and he sells it with every single movement and facial expression. It's amazing subtlety, honestly. The four of them enter, and Heyman asks the crowd to acknowledge Roman and the Usos, and the fact that Cena isn't around anymore, when they're interrupted by Finn Balor, who says he hasn't forgotten about Cena and what he did to him at the contract signing, and he was originally going to challenge Reigns at Extreme Rules, but he doesn't want to wait around, so instead he wants a title match next week on SmackDown. They get into a brawl, and then the Street Profits came down to offer assistance to Balor, with the three of them standing tall to end the show. Street Profits are a weird choice after losing to the Alpha Academy, but it was fun enough, and I'm sure they'll put on some good matches with the Usos. Can't wait for Montez Ford versus Jimmy, and then Dawkins versus Jay, and then Ford versus Jay, and then Dawkins versus Jimmy. I'm also quite glad they didn't drop the Balor story, so at least that will have some resolution. So that was the show. Let me know what you thought in the comments and by voting on our community tab poll, where 54% of you, this might be the closest poll we've ever had, voted for Balor versus Reigns. but for real this time. This SmackDown was much better than ones in previous weeks, as we had the continuation of the Becky Belair story, which started at SummerSlam, a new challenger for Reigns that isn't Lesnar right away, others vying for the Universal title contention, a solid showcase of wrestling, including the women's division, and the introduction of Happy Corbin, who's my new favorite thing. There was a lot of stuff on this show that was perfectly fine, and some good stuff, but nothing was particularly bad, so the show gets a high 3 out of 5, maybe a low 4. Somewhere around there anyway. And now it's time for Tempest's review of AEW Rampage. Take it away, Tempest.
I wanted to make a joke about Giannis Antetokounmpo, but his name wouldn't fit on the board.
Straighten you up, my son.
What's going on, WrestleTalk friends and fans? Tempest the Wrestler is back with a review of AEW Rampage in about 3 minutes. 3 minutes sounds right. So this show opened with the finals of the AEW World Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament as Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus took on the Lucha Brothers. I don't know why I didn't just call them Jurassic Express, but moving on. Now right off the bat, this was one of the best matches of the entire week, with both teams kicking out of a series of Canadian Destroyers, Hurricane Ranas, Poison Ranas. Nothing could keep these two teams down. Ultimately, after a 20-minute fantastic match, the Lucha Brothers were able to put Luchasaurus down with an elevated package pile driver. This means that they will go on to face the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles in a steel cage match at All Out, a match I am very much looking forward to seeing live. This match was the best thing that AEW put on TV all week. This gets a 5 out of 5. For the second week in a row, AEW has put the most exciting thing on Rampage at the beginning of the show rather than the end, and I think it's sapping the life out of the crowd. This was much more evident later, but the next segment saw Miro come out beating up Fuego del Sol before Eddie Kingston ran in to make the save. The two brawled and had to be broken up by referees, but Miro is just one of the most consistently entertaining wrestlers in the entire world. I cannot say a bad thing about this man. And they officially announced that Miro will be defending the TNT Championship against Eddie Kingston at All Out, another match I'm very much looking forward to seeing live. There wasn't a whole lot to this, but I thought this was a very effective segment, setting up a match that hasn't had a whole lot of build to this point. This gets a 4 out of 5. We got a promo package hyping up CM Punk versus Darby Allin, and this was mostly a retread of things that we've already seen, but there was new content from Punk who explained why he liked Darby Allin so much. It was at this point that the show kind of fell off a cliff as Ty Conti took on the Bunny. As a match, it wasn't anything special, but it wasn't anything terrible either. The problem was the crowd was completely asleep for this. These are two women that haven't been pushed very hard on television lately, and as a result of that and the opening tag match being so good, the fans just didn't have a whole lot to bite onto here. Penelope Ford came down to ringside for the distraction finish as the blade slipped brass knuckles onto the Bunny's hand, and she knocked out Ty Conti, allowing her to get the pin. This whole segment was designed to build up the All Out Casino Battle Royal, but that's a match that I don't think the fans have a terrible amount of interest in. The intrigue for the match is who's going to be debuting or returning, not who has the momentum going into the match, as that so rarely plays a factor into a Battle Royal. This was a fine match, but the fan interaction really wasn't there. I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5. And then we got the main event tag match as AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler took on Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian. This was a match with 3 of my favorite guys in the entire world and Brandon Cutler, and I think that in theory, everything that they did here was fine, but in execution, it didn't lend to a very engaging match for the live audience. The story of the match was Kenny Omega didn't want to get in there with Christian Cage ahead of their match at All Out, and would send Brandon Cutler in to take a beating at every turn. Again, the match was good, but the fans seemed more dejected by Kenny Omega not getting in the ring and wrestling than angry at him, as if they wanted to see him wrestle because he's a big star, rather than booing him because he's a great heel. That might not have been the case had this match opened the show rather than closing it, as the fans still would have been hot for it and not been burnt out after the tag title eliminator match. I really hope we see AEW move the most important thing to the main event slot on Rampage. Otherwise, I do think this is going to be a recurring theme of the fans being burnt out after the first segment. I'm going to give the main event a 3 out of 5. It was still okay, but it should have been a lot better. So we had things ranging in quality on this episode. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 just because of that opening tag match. That was one of the best things I saw all week. And overall, the show was pretty enjoyable, but after that halfway point, it could have been a lot better. And that just about wraps it up from me. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this show and last night's SmackDown, make sure you go over to WrestleTalk podcast later on today, where myself and Chopper Pete Quinnell will be breaking down both shows in detail. Until then, take care, my friends, and jam that jam.
The newest episode of Fantasy Booking Warfare is up on Parts Unknown right now, and it's the final first round match where me and Tempest compete against Steven Larson to see who can fantasy book the best version of the New Day Triple Threat. Check it out right now.
Los Intangibles, WrestleTalk, or will it be Steve
and Larson. Let's decide for ourselves as we watch these two teams compete to book the New Day Triple Threat.